Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Access Entertainment and Metalholic Magazine. With us today, Danny and Jeff of We Are Harlot. How you guys doing, man?
What's happening?
It's awesome you guys were able to make it the end of the tour here. Well, the end of this leg of the tour. I know you got a little bit of time off and you're hitting back out and everything. So, first off, congrats. The album is finally out.
Finally.
It seems like we've been waiting forever. I know the hype's been out there, and it turned out to be everything we could have hoped. It's a fantastic record, and the response seems to be positive all the way around.
It's huge getting that one off of our backs. That's for sure. That's a 4-year monkey right there that's been with us.
We wrote that 4 years ago. Recorded it 4 times.
Yeah.
And finally, it's out. People can hear it.
And it's crazy because that album is as much the people's as it is ours. There's people that waited for 4 years for that record with us, you know. So we're just happy to have it out, and you know, if anybody listening to that album can get the feeling that we got when we were listening to our favorite records like Aerosmith or Pantera or Van Halen, then mission accomplished. It's good. But we're so ecstatic it's out and it's getting all this praise, and you know, it was the #1 release for new bands.
Oh hey guys.
Oh hey, well come on in. We're just here for you. Come on in. So yeah, we're super happy.
Well, and that's the thing, when you do that first album, there's sort of so much riding on that, especially now with the music industry sort of being where it is, you know. What was that like for you guys? Because, I mean, obviously you've had a lot of experience before with the big albums and everything, and you've been, you know, with Sebastian Bach and everything else, so, but doing it yourself for sort of starting a whole new thing, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is starting a whole new, it is starting a band again from the ground up. I mean, kind of having the prior success and fame, as it were, definitely helps. But I mean, it really is starting from the beginning again. There's only so far a name can, or a group of names in this case, can take about it. It just basically lets people give it a chance more than anything.
Right.
Yeah, people look at it one way. They're like, you guys are so crazy, you know, for leaving this band or for doing this. You know, you had it made, you did it. But they don't understand that playing music is such a huge thing if you're a musician.
Yeah,
it's everything.
It's your soul.
And you know, to be able to do it, like us four, we've been together, we party together, we live together, we play together, you know, we tour together. We never have had a fight. You know, we've had disagreements, but we've never had a fight. And like, I can't even be in a band a week with somebody without, you know, sometimes usually having that. So to play the music that you love with your best friends, there's nothing better. And the part of it starting over, we look at it as a different way. Yeah, we are. I mean, on this too, we played some bars, you know, for radio stations and stuff like that, and it is like starting over. But we look at it in the positive, which is we get to watch this whole thing grow again. Yeah. And not many people get a second or third chance to do it.
Well, and that's the neat thing, and listening to the album and watching the videos and the chemistry that you have and everything, it comes out because I see so much fun, there's that swagger going on there, and it just looks like you guys are having a hell of a time, and it comes across in the music and the performances.
Yeah, it really is just, it's a great thing to be a part of. Like when us four get together and we're playing, something magical happens.
We actually went to a battle, after we played last night, and where were we? Seattle. We went to a battle of the bands that was going on, and they said, oh, you know, we got one more band that's going to come up and play, and we went up and we played some AC/DC and some Queen covers.
A second show of the night.
I had like this wild chord that was squealing.
Yeah, my good friends like owned the venue, so they were at our show, and we were like, well, let's just go to yours, and we'll go jam. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, but even like those music videos you were talking about, you know, the label said, okay, you have 1 day to shoot these 2 music videos. I mean, normally you can need like 4 or 5 days to shoot a music video. So here we were in 1 day, and of course the bar was stocked, so we started hitting that. So if you watch that video, as they go more and more, the faces get a little bigger, a little redder, you know. But we have a lot of fun and everything.
The director towards the end was like, come on guys,
he was the one
we gotta get this take. You guys are starting to look pretty weird.
But we try. I mean, and we try to do that with everything we do. I think when you see the show tonight, you know, I think so many bands take themselves way too seriously.
We don't take ourselves seriously.
No, not at all. You're gonna hear a ton of bad notes. You're gonna hear some crazy things, but it's all in the name of rock and roll, in the name of fun and cool. You know, that's what it's all about. And like when we were doing that press tour, the radio stations were blown away because like these people come in. And they're like, oh man, I need some throat coat for my throat, you know, or oh, my aura is off this morning, you know, but then we just show up, we just got home from the bar, it's 6 a.m. we go and do radio, you know, we just got home to the bar and we're like, grab the guitars and rock, and it's like, if you're not having fun playing rock and roll, I don't think you were born with it, and I think this is something that you're born with, you know?
Well, and that's, you know, that's what rock and roll is all about. And it seems like when the 90s came along, it sort of went into a coma. And it seems like what you guys are doing with this album, what some of the other new bands are doing, Hailstorm bands like that, are sort of kick-starting that whole fun aspect and just being loose and having moments rather than trying to...
And playing the music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane these days how many bands you go see and they're not even playing.
They're not even, it's all tracks.
There's some bands, I'm not going to name them, but I think
you can Shazam.
I think everyone can get. You can literally Shazam their songs as well. But that means they're not playing the songs. They just put their CD in.
Yeah.
Play along with it. And I think that's one of the fun things that I love with rock and roll. You know, like when you listen to the Stones, Aerosmith, Van Halen, there was a train wreck a lot with those bands, and those are the biggest bands of all time. You know, and I mean, you watch the Stones. Sometimes they were so stoned, you know, that the sets were crazy, but all that wrongness creates honesty and creates fun and creates a connection with, you know, the audience. And that's, you know, rock and metal, it's a community, we're all in it together, you know. So that's what I always loved, you know, and to be able to play in that type of band and have that type of fun and that atmosphere and that kind of roller coaster going on, it makes every day fun for me.
Well, and what's the point in going to a concert? I mean, that's what I loved about going to a concert.
Have you caught a shake of those dogs yet? Let's be honest.
Yeah, the road isn't
Holy hell! She hasn't come from back there yet. I mean, the sweetness going on is incredible. Tell me, have you gotten hit?
Sassy foot.
I have.
Those are fucking sassy as hell.
So,
holy hell!
Now, obviously, this is a lot different than what you were doing before. So for you vocally, this has got to be really freeing. I really love what I'm hearing from your voice on this.
It's more true to kind of the music I grew up on and kind of what I was raised with. I don't know, it's natural. Feels like home.
Right. And well, and that's sort of the thing. That's why I was like watching it, very freeing. Like I said, a lot of fun, a lot of swagger. It's like you just really look like you're enjoying yourself. Not that you weren't in other projects and everything, but in this,
they pay me to enjoy myself. I hate these
guys. Yeah, we give them $1.50.
I can tell you're miserable.
I hate these guys, but they pay me very well.
All right. So getting back to the album, it seems to me like every time I talk to people, there always seems to be one song that sort of practically wrote itself, and there always seems to be that one song that you had to take kicking and screaming into the studio down to the very last minute to get it where you wanted. Did you have that with this record?
This album, I mean, there were over 100 songs in line to be in this album.
No, we wrote in the first 8 months of us living together. That was pretty amazing. So people would normally hear that and be like, well, those must have been a lot of terrible songs. Well, 6 of those songs are on this record. You know, Flying Too Close, Dancing on Nails, Someday,
Never Turn Back.
Never Turn Back, yeah. I mean, that goes to show. Those were written literally within the first 2 weeks that we even met. We met and we moved in together 2 days later. We didn't even know what bands each other was in and stuff like that. And then, you know, but the chemistry between myself, Danny, and Bruno when we got in the room and just started playing, you know, normally when a band gets together, there's posturing and like, oh, look what I can do. Many of the things on this record, like, those parts weren't necessarily written by the person that plays that particular instrument. So it might be Danny or Bruno picking up a guitar, or me singing a melody line, Danny and showing him how it goes, or sitting down at the piano. And that's how the record came together. And I think that's what made it sound kind of unique a little bit too, because everybody feels things a little bit differently. And I remember when we started doing it, we loved bands like I said, like Pantera and Van Halen and you know, Led Zeppelin and Queen. You listen to the 4 dudes in those bands, you hear all those personalities, you know? And I think that's something that we were able to do with this record. I think you hear the 4 of us in those songs. Yeah,
and you sort of get that feel listening to the whole thing, because like I said before, there was a lot of swagger in it, there was a lot of bluesy undercurrents, and that brings in all of you, your different backgrounds and everything, you know, from Silvertide, from what you were doing before, from what Danny was doing before, all that stuff, and it was really sort of cool to hear. Yeah, and and it really is refreshing, like we were talking about bringing rock back, because it had gotten so stagnant over the 90s and the aughts, and you listen to the classic rock's albums that we grew up with, there were always these little moments in them, these nuances, and music has lost that.
There was the moments that made it human.
Yeah. I mean,
it gave the song its life and its soul, and it was lost with this digital age where everyone's quantizing everything.
Yeah.
Everything's pitch corrected and everything has to be perfect. And it sounds like a fucking computer played it. Because a lot of it, a computer played it. They're running the guitars just into a computer, making sound, replacing the drums with a computer generated sound.
I mean, think of it in the 70s, right? Let's take these bands again. Led Zeppelin, Queen, Kiss, Black Sabbath, Aerosmith, you know, Van Halen. Let's put all these bands together. They're all playing rock and roll. They all sounded completely different, you know? I mean, when we would turn on the radio station, we couldn't tell two bands apart. That was the honest to God truth. I couldn't do it. Maybe I'm not listening hard enough. I don't know. But I couldn't tell them apart. But I sure could tell those bands apart. You know? And I think that this record, for us, was just the beginning. I think the second record is going to be completely different. And it's going to have a ton of different other textures on it. And I don't know.
We're going to keep exploring.
We already have the music for the next two records done.
Yeah.
So
we're going to keep exploring. I mean, this album, it kind of flirts with country for a little parts. I think we're expanding that and more blues, and then bring some more kind of the 70s classic rock in.
Right.
Just swap things out and just...
we'll probably throw one super heavy one in there just for fun all the time.
We always want to expand and do something new. We never want to create the same album twice.
Well, that's the thing. If you're not expanding and growing like that, then you're dying. And a lot of bands don't know how to get out of that, or they're afraid to. So
everything's a formula now, and even with labels, you know, it's a formula. Once you find that formula that works, can't change it, right? So with us, you know, when they heard the songs, you know, we had to do a lot of work for Atlantic and Roadrunner to be able to get us. But when they did, they were like, you know, this is what we want, because we want something that's different. And that, you know, the next record we're doing all ourselves. There'll be no producers, no, it's just us, you know. And I think that's I like the fact of living on your own merits, you know.
Fantastic. I don't want to steal you guys any longer. I know you need to get ready.
You got us all day. We don't want to go out and do that stuff. Play music. Ugh.
I'm close to orgasm. Keep it going.
So I know that you guys have a little bit of time off, and you're going back out for some more U.S. dates and everything. But sort of what's on tap for We Are Harlot after that?
After these U.S. festivals, we fly up to Europe.
All the U.S. festivals. Starting on the 20th. On the 20th, we have a couple more radio shows, and then we go and we do some side shows with Papa Roach and Hell Yeah, and then we do all the U.S. festivals. Last one's on the 31st of May in Dallas.
Yeah, and then fly over to Italy with a little old band called Metallica.
Yeah, we can open some shows with Metallica. Fine, we'll do it.
Hit some Europe festivals, a couple of headline
shows over there.
London,
Glasgow.
Download with Kiss and Motley Crue.
Yeah, main stage. Rocky and Ring, Rockin' Park.
Yeah, and then we come back, and from there, there's a lot of options. It's in the works, so we can't say anything.
Gotcha.
But there's some stuff planned after. Basically, we're not going home this year.
No. As we said, girlfriends are going to completely hate us. They already do, but they'll hate us more. And you know, one of the things that we want to do is just bring the Harlot sound and rock to every corner of the globe. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we do, like I said, like going out and playing at the bars last night, so that we want it to be, remember when the in-stores happened, like back in the day? How cool was that? In-stores were the greatest thing. Now, you know, the kids will line up at a festival and they'll sign and do that, but it's not nearly as personal as that was. You know, when I got to meet Judas Priest and Rob Halford just picked me up, you know, I mean, I didn't know he was do anything there, but he picked me up. The metal god just picked me up, you know. I was like, it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, me and Jeff, we spent like 2.5 months flying around the world, going to all the radio stations, and a lot of the time just ending up at a bar with an acoustic guitar and just jamming.
You see like a guy playing acoustic like in a pub or something, we just go in and we're like, dude, you might have to come and play, and then, you know, inevitably somebody's going to know one of us or something like that, play some songs, and I mean, I just think that that's what it's all about, the fun. We wanted to bring back the fun to rock and roll, and hopefully if we're not doing a good job of it, I think the fans are going to let us know. And that's another amazing thing, especially the young fans.
They could lie and just keep our egos
That is true. That is true. But even the young fans, you know, they're getting it, and
it's great to see people opening their ears and being open to new things.
And to them, it sounds
fresh. Yeah, it's not new things, but to them, it's
we're not reinventing the wheel at all. We're just
rocking it and hoping it keeps rolling.
Yeah.
But again, it all comes back to that having fun, and that's what you guys are doing. So I'll leave you with the final question, the serious question. You know, everybody wants to know boxers, briefs, or commando.
Commando.
Oh.
That's why I had to put these pants on out there, because we've just met and I thought showing you my dick would be inappropriate. Plus you have a cat.
You don't want to, you know what the feet smell like. Can you imagine what that wild dog smells like? Oh man.
You gotta keep
Plus he's from the UK,
you gotta keep
so
the
you
penis
know.
in check.
Danny, Jeff, we are Harlot here in Boise tonight. The new album is out. We're so stoked about it. Thanks so much for taking a few minutes to chat with us.
Thank you
Not
for
a
having
problem.
me, man.
All right.